Hi there, my name is Bill, and today we're going to talk microphones.
All right, can you guys hear me? All right, let's do this.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bill, or some of you may know me as Captain Bill Official, and this is a tech review talking about audio devices or microphones. Now, some of you may have been following the Hanger 26 transformation. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, definitely go check out this same playlist on YouTube, and there's about 5 episodes going through each phase of my update of my streaming studio, Hanger 26. Now, one of those episodes is a tech update talking about the different devices that I upgraded in my setup. Now, when I first started streaming back in 2017, I honestly wasn't sure what I was going to use, if I was going to include my face on my live streams, if it was just going to be gameplay and no audio. I didn't know what was going to go on, but I knew for a fact that my voice was going to be heard. So I knew audio was going to be a extremely important part of my setup. But at the time, I didn't want to waste money on a super expensive microphone if the streaming thing wasn't going to work out. So I needed to find something that was budget friendly and packed a good punch in terms of professional quality. And that is where the Blue Microphone Snowball Ice microphone came in. I bought this back in 2017. It's 7 years old, and yes, it still works like a charm. That's why I still have it. It's a good backup for my Rode into USB Mini. But as you can tell on the back, there's no pickup pattern. So this is just the old school plug and play. Now, at the time when I bought this, it was about $50 from Best Buy. Just recently, I saw it on Best Buy, the newer version, which is only $40. So it's definitely a budget-friendly entry-level microphone. Now, on my mic arm, I have the NT USB Mini, which is $100 and a little bit of a step up, and it's made by Rode, which is a very well-known microphone manufacturer. Now, some of you are wondering, do I get the $50 entry level, or do I get the Rode into USB Mini and just spend the $100 and just get the next level? Well, but that's what we're here to discuss today. I'm going to review them and show you the out-of-box sound of both the Snowball microphone as well as the into USB Mini side by side, so you yourself can make that decision for you. Now, up first is the Snowball Ice microphone. I do apologize, I am holding it equidistant from my face like I would the into USB Mini here on the arm, but the reason I'm holding is it would be a pain to pull all this off and set it up. But I would highly recommend having an arm for your Snowball microphone because, as you could probably tell, handling it or bumping into it is a very noisy process. And also, it doesn't do too well with plosives, but there's a cheap $15 pop filter you can get from Samsung, which is the same manufacturer here, from Best Buy, that solves the problem pretty quickly. But this is out of the box, just plugged into the computer, no processing or editing or adjusting of audio. This is just raw audio from the Snowball Ice microphone. All right, this is the out-of-box audio quality with no processing, software editing from the NT USB Mini from Rode. As you can probably tell, out-of-box, it's a little bit better sounding than the Snowball microphone. I have noticed this because in the past I've had to use just the direct input, no editing, just like you're hearing now for some of my podcasts, and you honestly couldn't tell the difference between a professional mixer audio and this right here. So out of the box, a little bit better. Right. Well, the good news is if you can't afford or don't want to afford the $100 for the Rode into USB Mini, there are free software programs out there. Like I use Voice Banana, and honestly, 100% recommend them and only them. But this is the audio, believe it or not, through the Snowball Ice microphone, just through the editing or adjustment software known as Voicemeeter. It is a little complicated to set up, but there's a tons of wonderful YouTube videos on how to set it up and configure it with OBS. And also in OBS, I have other things in there like limiter, noise gate, noise suppression, and even equalizer in there as well. This video is not going to be how to set that up, but if that's something that you would like to see, just let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to do a setup video. So what you're hearing now is the audio from the Rode into USB Mini through the same software, Voicemeeter. The only difference is that I changed the gain filter in OBS because this microphone tends to be a little bit quieter, but pretty much everything is the same. I just switched the input source in Voicemeeter, and this is what you get. And in my honest opinion, for the average stream watcher or the audience member, they're not really going to know the difference between this and the other unless you point it out. So now let's talk a little bit about pros and cons between the two microphones. So I would say these microphones are pretty evenly matched in my opinion, but we'll talk the pros and cons between both. So the pros for the Snowball Ice microphone, first and foremost, is the price. It is a $40 to $50 microphone depending on where you buy it. I always get mine from Best Buy, but it is extremely cheap. And for the sound quality that you could with Voice Meter and other free software get out of it, it's definitely worth the price. So the value is a big plus. Also, reliability. It's a durable construction, and in the 7 years that I've had this microphone, I haven't had an issue with it once, not once. And that can't be said for the Rode, which I'll get into here in a second. Now, pros for the Rode into USB Mini. For the price point and the quality that you get out of box with this microphone, I would say it's the same value, if not better, than the Snowball microphone. You're getting a very professional sounding quality microphone for only $100. And Rode is renowned for their microphone and audio devices. So I think that's a win. Also, the construction of this is very solid, very sturdy, just like the Snowball microphone, and it looks extremely professional. This, which we'll get into when I go into cons, doesn't look quite as good on screen as this does. This looks very professional. Now, let's get into cons, so the downsides of these microphones. So with Snowball, the audio out of box is not as good out of box as the into USB Mini. However, we've proven today in the video that with the right software, patience, and fiddling with or tinkering around with, you can get similar audio quality out of both. Another con with this is the size. This thing is massive compared to the into USB Mini. So having it on a stand in front of you is, I mean, if I were just to set it right here, let's see if I can give you guys a view there. It's massive, right? It takes up a lot of the screen. So when I used to stream with this, I used to try to get it down out of the way so it wasn't as big of a distraction. So the size is kind of chunky. And also another con is handling noise. Any sort of bump or slight bump on your stand, it echoes through this pretty heavily. Now, cons for the Rode into USB Mini. The biggest one, and I figured out, I think it's not with the microphone itself, it's actually with the software that comes with it called Rode Connect. I've had so many issues with Rode Connect. Mainly, the microphone keeps cutting out randomly in the middle of streams. Just recently, as of last week, there was a Windows update, and then suddenly Rode Connect, for some odd reason, wasn't even recognizing its own microphone, and it was this whole debacle where I actually had to shut down my stream mid-stream multiple times due to audio issues, which is something I've never experienced with the Snowball microphone. Now, during that time, I wasn't entirely sure if it was the Windows update causing issues, if it was Rode Connect causing issues, or if it was me causing issues, user error. But what I did is I ended up just uninstalling Rode Connect from my computer and just going back to Voice Meter, which is my old, true, and reliable audio software that I've always used for streaming and podcasting, and rehooked up, and lo and behold, hadn't had an issue. Now, we get to the point where we're asking ourselves the question, so which one do we go with if with free software we can get them sounding pretty much the same? And honestly, it depends. It comes down to what you intend to do with it and your budget. So let's say you're starting out like I did and you have a very limited budget and you're not sure if streaming is going to be, or podcasting is going to be something that you want to do or continue doing, then I would highly suggest the Snowball Ice microphone. We've proven through free software that this is a very cheap, reliable, and dependable microphone for you to start off on. And then later on, if you feel like you're ready for an upgrade, you can come with the into USB Mini. And that is it, folks, for the Captain Bill official tech review. I really hope this helps some of you make the decision between going with a more expensive microphone and an entry-level one, because I know when I was picking, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do either. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. In the future, we're going to be talking about the other tech updates that I did to my setup, as doing the same thing, talking about what I started with as a budget streamer when I first started out versus what I upgraded to. With that, be safe, be well, and I will see you on the next tech review.